Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this conversation. All right, guys. The only reason why I wanted to even just give my thoughts and views on this situation that I saw happening on YouTube is because I just feel that there's just so much BS that happens online. It's come like to be, the internet is like, you used to hear about years ago the internet being the information superhighway. It seems like now the internet has become the freeway of shit. Like anything can just come down the pipeline. And it's really sad. It really makes me happy that I do not have any little children. Shoot, I freaking worry sometimes about my own child who's an adult at this point because it's just so much crap that is allowed to happen online. And what I mean by that is pretty much anyone, depending on who decides to give a person a chance, allow them to grow and get all of these followers, almost anyone can become an internet sensation, whether they deserve it or not. And people like Akademiks, who I've heard of, I've never, ever watched any of his content. I've heard his voice before. And look, everyone has an acquired taste. Everyone is free to their opinions, and no one likes everyone. And, some people don't like people for things that really don't make sense, and sometimes they do. For me, I don't care to listen to him because, one, his voice is annoying. Two, I feel like he thinks so much more of himself than he ought to think. Because, let's just be honest. The dude, I just feel like because he's gotten a lot of people following him, that has equaled to him making profit from it. And so if he is getting any play from any females, it's because of the money. It's not because of the personality. It's definitely not because of the looks. And it's not because he has anything significant to offer, right? So I say all of that to say, because of the following that he's gained, he feels that he can speak about people any kind of way. And although a lot of people have their different views and opinions on the Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation, which I have not really discussed much on my platform, he has been, in my opinion, just based on things that I have heard from other people, because again, I don't listen to his platform, he has really tried to get himself involved in that situation so much so to try to discredit this girl as if she was not a victim. And I just think that is extremely sad, because if Meg Thee Stallion was not an African-American female, he never would have gone in that situation like that, ever. If Tory Lanez was black and Meg Thee Stallion was Kylie Jenner or, some other ethnicity chick, he would never have discussed her like that. So that's just one situation. That's just one example of how he has disparaged African American women. And the ones that allow him to disparage them for money, screwing him for money, because that has been proven. And as much as people may not like Tasha K, she has exposed him before. And I wouldn't say she exposed him. The females that he was messing with exposed him. Okay, so let's just leave it at that. But I say all of that to say, you never really know who's watching you. You really don't. So when it comes to internet gossip and things like that, you never hear about Queen Latifah being in the conversation, ever. So to have Queen Latifah, in my opinion, step off of her throne to address this clown, I felt like it was epic. And I actually saw this post on the Neighborhood Talk. I just was like, wow, I want to share my thoughts and speak on this because I say all of that to say you never really know who's watching you. And that's why people should really be a little bit more cautious. I'm not saying you shouldn't be who you are, but you really never know who's paying attention to you. You never really know who's watching you. And that, in my opinion, was epic. But I want to go ahead and just share this story because I'm just going to read it from the Jasmine brand, even though I originally saw the post and commented myself on it on the Neighborhood Talk on Instagram. But anyway, the story is Queen Latifah isn't here for DJ Akademiks and his online antics. In a recent Instagram story, Queen Latifah shared a post about DJ Akademiks' viral shenanigans, seemingly joining the long list of others petitioning his repulsive remarks toward Black women. The verbiage, originally uploaded by someone on Instagram that goes by at my son NENNY General, read, "It's crazy to me how DJ Akademiks is crying scared to say anything to Saucy Santana because he's a gay man and he's scared of getting, quote, canceled. But he has said some of the most outlandish, vile, disrespectful, and demeaning things to Black women with absolutely no fear whatsoever. This brings me back to Malcolm X's quote, the most disrespected, unprotected, and neglected person in America is the Black woman." And that's all she had to say. She didn't say anything else, but honestly, that's really all she had to say because it is definitely the truth. So the story continues. The legendary rapper / actress repost comes not too long after the controversial commentator was seen crying in a recent live stream following a social media feud with lyricist Saucy Santana. Reportedly, Saucy Santana threw some threats Akademiks' way for the not-so-nice things he's had to say about City Girls' Young Miami. The clapback was seemingly prompted after Akademiks ranted about the City Girls' low album sales for their latest project, Raw, on his popular broadcast. He said, "I contacted RIAA personally today, and I had to run it by a few executives. They passed the phone. They were playing phone tag. They passed me to one guy, then to another guy, and I talked to the head of the RIAA. They told me this bleep went 15 times plastic. This bleep was ridiculous. This bleep was ridiculous. They said, Act, this is the first triple plastic certification we've given out." He said the last time they dropped a record, it went double styrofoam. So, Saucy Santana, he had some things to say about it to him. So, he did a response to Akademiks. I'm not going to play the clip, but he basically said, "What the F is you doing interviews for, talking about Young Miami for? You think nobody won't press you up? And that's the MFing problem. Nobody don't never know where you at, but we all have public flyers and posters out on your MFing page." So Akademiks responded to that, said he was spitting his face, and told him to pull up. Okay? So Saucy Santana, he was up for the challenge, and he said, "After I beat you, I'm going to do some things to you." And you probably know what that is, and I'm not going to repeat it, and I'm not going to play it. But Akademiks, which is like, how ironic someone who is so unlearned, so comes across as, I will say, uneducated, calls himself Akademiks, but we know he doesn't spell it in the proper way, so whatever. But he responded by getting emotional. And basically, it's like him crying because he feels that if he says anything about Saucy Santana, who is in the LGBTQ community, then the myriad of people from the LGBTQ community are going to come to cancel him. And he fears losing his money but he doesn't fear losing anything when it comes to him being disrespectful towards black women, because Young Miami is not the first time that he has done something like that in regards to a black woman. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Queen Latifah had a moment in her day, she said, I have time today to step off of her throne to address this weasel, is absolutely incredible. But two, one of the other reasons why I wanted to talk about this is because it just speaks to the lowbrow level that the great doctor, Umar Johnson, has come to. Because when Saucy Santana made his reply to Akademiks, and Dr. Umar Johnson decided to step into this, which is amazing to me because he doesn't have time to get that building. I'm not even going to call it a school, to get that building together to create a school. For how many years has it been that he's been talking about building a school for black boys and all of this other stuff? But he's got all of this time to be online talking about the Saucy Santana Akademiks beef, talking about Sukiyana and all of this other BS. It's just like, this dude has become a clown at this point. Not to take anyone's credentials away from them, but if you have all of these credentials to be a doctor, how about act like one?
My phone been blowing up, and people have been asking me if I would be interested in facilitating a peace treaty between DJ Akademiks and Saucy Santana. I've been getting text messages and inboxes, people telling me that there's a war brewing between DJ Akademiks and Saucy Santana. Allegedly, DJ Akademiks says some disrespectful things about the City Girls. I believe Mr. Santana is good friends with the City Girls. And he clapped back at Akademiks, and Akademiks clapped back, and Saucy Santana invited DJ Akademiks to Miami to get in the streets and catch a fade. Saucy Santana wants to catch a fade with DJ Akademiks. And according to what I've been told, Saucy Santana said that if he wins the fight with DJ Akademiks, if Saucy Santana wins the fight with DJ Akademiks, if Saucy Santana wins the fight with DJ Akademiks, he's going to clap his cheeks. I don't want to see no man getting his cheeks clapped. I don't want to see no violence. I think DJ Akademiks should go ahead and apologize for what he said to the City Girls. And maybe Mr. Santana can apologize to DJ Akademiks for threatening to clap his cheeks. We need peace. My phone been blowing up, and people have...
First of all, let's just be real. Who in the freak is calling this man, blowing his phone up about facilitating a peace treaty between these two? Listen, I don't even believe that. I don't believe it. Two, even if that were to be the case, doesn't he have more important fish to fry than getting involved in this situation that has nothing to do with him? Who made him who made him this Gandhi of the hip hop community? I mean, I'm just saying, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But the reason why I'm talking about Queen Latifah versus Dr. I don't even want to call him Doctor, and Umar, Queen Latifah and Umar Johnson, is the fact that Queen Latifah, who is an amazing rapper and actress, amazing in her craft and in her career, she is speaking more sense than this man who's supposed to be a doctor. Seriously. Umar, he hasn't said anything about Akademiks and how he has just been so foul when it comes to black women. But you want to step in because you don't want him to get his, what he said, cheeks clapped. You know, this is just absolutely ridiculous. It's clown crap at this point in time. And, Akademiks, this clown, he's probably going to continue on doing the same stuff he's doing, This will blow over. I'm not saying that it's cool for how he has continued to disparage African American women, but because he has the audience that pretty much feels the same way that he does, this is why people like this continue to move forward. But you know how YouTube is taking down YouTube channels and demonetizing people and different things like that? People need to come out in full force and talk about getting him canceled. Unfortunately, a lot of times YouTube won't do it when it comes to African American women, but people like him and some of the others that dwell in that space of doing things like that. Change.org petition is not going to change anything. You really just have to hit people where it hurts. And if it means coming for their platforms on YouTube and different things like that, just continuing to pursue getting that to happen, then people just need to continue to do it. You know what I mean? One drop of water consistently wears a hole in a rock. It doesn't happen overnight, but it definitely happens. So I'm glad to hear that Queen Latifah had something to say. Who would have thought? I definitely never would have. So it was refreshing to see that. But you guys let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. And so until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and I'm going to say bye.